G'day, welcome back to another episode of Togl. Well, Kay and I are up on the block today. We've got a lot of work to do. We need to get another ute load of dirt into that raised veggie garden, get that finished off so we can do some planting there. Then we want to get the second one built. Now what we need to do for that is that small draw knife that I made the other week that you saw. We'll be getting that into action. We need to finish stripping off the bark off of those logs and then char them and then start to build that second raised garden bed. I've already milled up the timber for it, so it's just going to be prepping that. So the plan is we'll head up and get the soil. As soon as we're back from getting the soil, we'll get a fire started. That fire can start burning while we're unloading the dirt. Once the dirt's unloaded and the fire's going well, we'll be stripping off of the bark. By then that fire should be a really good long bed of coals and we can get those logs charred up ready to build. Now one thing that's really cool is just up the back there on that stump, you can see that there's a beehive. That's one of the empty ones, so I put that up there. I've put a few others around as well, and I've put some lemongrass oil on them. That's an empty one of the ones that got vacated right at the end of summer last year, and it's full of bees as well now, so we've got another swarm. So that gives us that gives us 5 now, so we've now got 5 colonies of bees. I haven't even checked the other ones yet, there could even be more. So yeah, really pleased with that. So now we've got 5. We've still got several other small, they call it a trap, but it's just a small hive that's empty and ready for the bees to go into. So really good, and we're not even into summer yet. There is a lot of flowers around as well. There's masses and masses of white flowers all up and down the hillsides here. I've got a feeling it might be dogwood. I've taken some photos. I need to identify what that is and see if it is something that's a really high nectar or pollen producer for the bees. Hopefully it is, because that'll give them a huge source of food. But anyway, we've got a lot to get done today, so we're going to get cracking. First thing is up to the top with the tractor and we'll start loading up some more dirt. Well, we got that load of dirt down. It's in the veggie patch now, and now we're just going to get this fire started. is that draw knife that I made. So Kay's going to get stuck in with that, and I'll go up and grab the other one and start getting the bark off these logs. But very shortly it's going to be time for some lunch, I think. Log 10 of the 12 that we've got to do. So we'll get those last two charred up once I get this one off, and then we'll go down there and we'll start getting that veggie patch done. It's been a fairly long day today. It took a while to get all that bark off, and it's really hot up here today too, so it's been making the work a little slower, but we're almost done. Alright, well, I just got the next 6 posts in. That was pretty straightforward. Only a couple of the holes needed to be widened a little bit, but they've been dropped in. It's getting quite late, even though there's still a lot of sunshine around. It is coming up to 5:30 in the evening, so last thing we're going to do for the day is plant out, now that we've got this back section filled up, and we're going to plant some corn and some beans in there, plant them in together. Theory is the corn grows up, the beans will grow up and use the corn for support. In strong wind, the beans wrapping up on the corn actually help the corn not to blow over as well. They do say you can plant a third crop in there as well, which is pumpkins. They all work very well together, and the pumpkins spread out all over the ground and stop the weeds coming up, shade the soil, keep the moisture in. So those three vegetables actually grow really well together. So that's what we're going to give a crack, and we'll see how that goes in that bed right there. Then we need to water up because it's been a few days without rain. Things are drying out a little bit, so we'll get the seeds in, we'll get some watering done, and then we'll get home, have some dinner. That's the planting done, and that garden size is perfect because if I reach in and Kay reaches in, we're right to the centre, so worked out really good. Now we'll just get the hose going and get these plants watered before we head home. Well, with all that rain that we had and now the warmer weather, everything is going berserk. So I thought I'd show you around very quickly. Now, firstly, I really got to get some lawn mowed. So I think tomorrow I'll get the ride-on mower and get the edger in here. So this was the red table grape, coming along nicely. Not sure about this one though, the green one. It looks like it started. There's still a little bit of green in there, but it's really struggling. I know we've got shoots at the bottom, so it might come good. All right, what else do we have around here? A couple of other plants here haven't done so well. I think they were the persimmons or something. But what we do have over here, let's go back this way. This was one of the gooseberries. It's coming along nicely. Kay's a big fan of the pink lady apples, and this is the pink lady apple that we planted, and it's got some nice blossom. It might get a couple of apples, who knows. The cherries, we've actually got little baby cherries. Look at that. Little cherries. So we'll have to get them netted soon before they ripen up, and we're going to get, hopefully, if they stay on, we'll get some cherries this year. That'll be cool. And that was the apricot tree. Now, as you can see, I've got all the slabs out here ready to go. I've got the big pile of slabs over the back as well. The other 6 logs for the 3rd bed, and over here the 6 logs are already in, and that's what I'll start on tomorrow. So we've also got here, these are our black currants. In Canberra we were growing red currants. These ones are black currants, and it looks like we might get a few of them as well, which is great. The raspberries are coming along. We've even started to get some flowers there. And we've also got some potatoes. This was the potato bed last year, so we've got some potatoes coming up in there again. These are last year's carrots. They'll probably just get pulled up. I might feed them to the cows next door or something. The rhubarb's still hanging in there doing all right. Asparagus, yeah, we're getting some asparagus spears. They're nice. I've munched out on a few of them. And I'm pretty sure all of these big flat leaf ones are the Jerusalem artichokes that we planted. So hopefully that's them. Now the seedlings that we planted over here are still going along all right. And so these were turnips in there, and then underneath there we had carrots. Can't really see much of what's going on under there at the moment actually with the carrots. Too much reflection. Beetroots, they're coming up. Radishes are going great. So I'm not sure about the carrots. Oh, there's a few. Can't see because of that white netting. And popping over here, we've got some more asparagus now starting to come through. A bit there, a few more bits there, which is good. Another piece over the back. Now sweet potatoes.
Need to pull out the...
Yeah, pull out that bracken fern. But the sweet potatoes, they've been well protected by the couple of frosts. I don't know if we're going to get any more frost. We might. This is all about potatoes coming up. Look at that. We should get a nice crop of potatoes out of there.
Our strawberries have been hidden.
We got to do some more weeding down here too, because in here there are strawberry plants. You might just make out some strawberry plants in there. I can make out some strawberry flowers just there, and a little bit of spinach. It needs to get going, but yeah, the weeds, everything's just growing, so we've got to get in here and do some weeding as well. So we're just going to finish up with the watering and then get out of here, and then tomorrow I'll come up. Like I said, I think I better get some mowing done, and then I'll get that second veggie patch going. Well, back up here on the block this morning, and looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. I reckon it's going to get hot too. It was fairly warm down on the coast. It's nice and cool up here at the moment, but as soon as the sun starts to hit in on here, I reckon she's going to get pretty warm again. So first thing I need to do try and clear up some of this jungle that's growing in here. The grass is so long. So I'm just going to get all that done. It'll probably take me an hour and a half, get all that sorted out, and at least then I've got a bit more of a clearer area to start building that second veggie garden. So time to get into it. It's the ground's still a bit wet, the grass is still quite wet because of all the dew overnight, but I think we'll be fine. I've got the ride-on mower ready to go, edger and the normal push mower. It's going to take everything to get through all of this. We'll see how we go. Well, I've done as much edging as I want to do at the moment. I do have a ride-on mower, and wouldn't you know it, just when I started it up I realised there's a nut missing off of the deck where the blades are, and it happens to be one of the 3 nuts that holds the centre spindle of one of the blades. So with it missing, everything's twisted, so I'm not going to be able to use the ride-on mower. I'll have to fix that up at home. So looks like I'll be doing all of this with the push mower, not like I haven't done it before. Already warming up. I am sweating heaps. So let's get this going. I want to get onto those veggie patches. Well, that's the mowing done. Took a little longer than I thought it was going to, obviously because I had to use a push mower. So 2.5 hours as opposed to the 1.5 I thought it would be. Anyway, it's all done now. That's fantastic. And the next time, hopefully I'll have that ride-on mower fixed up and it'll be a lot simpler. Plus, I intend on keeping the grass down now. I don't want it getting that long again if I can help it. So I've brought the car in. The reason I brought the car in is so that I can put the awning out, because due to this extreme Tassie heat that we're getting, I mean, man, it's got to be a good, must be easy, 20, maybe even 22, who knows. Gorgeous weather. But no, so just to keep the sun off, because the sun down here is really harsh too. Like, you'll get burnt so easily, even when it doesn't feel that hot. So I'll get the awning out. That gives me somewhere to work under while I get these slabs cut, and we'll start finally getting this second veggie bed together. Cannot wait. I'm also just looking across, and I don't know if there's a bee swarm happening over there. Oh, I think there is. I'm going to get the camera and take yours down. I think there's another swarm coming into one of my little Langstroth hives that I put up, the little catch ones that I put up. So yeah, let's go and have a look. I think that's bees all over the trunk of the tree. See how we go. Okay, so there's my hives right there, and that is all bees. I just saw a huge clump fall off the side of the tree. This is awesome. This will be number 6, swarm number 6. The bee gods are being very good to me. And look at this. I actually get to show you. Sorry about it being wobbly. I didn't even bring the tripod down with me. That's all bees all over the side of the tree. They're all swarming around that box. Oh, I just fell into a hole. Hopefully they are all going to move into that. That's a massive swarm too. Sorry, I'm too busy watching the bees and not watching the camera. Wow, that's really exciting. Look at them. Now I'm zoomed right in with the camera. That's why it's a bit wobbly, because obviously I don't want to get too close. Although I've heard that swarming bees tend not to sting you, but I'm not going to test that. Let's see if I can get you a little bit closer footage. That there, what you're seeing there is the birth of a new beehive, a new bee colony. They've gone out with a queen, looking for a home, and they're all pouring in. The hole is right in the center of the screen. Not that you can see it, but you might see the bees making their way in there. Sorry about it being so shaky. That is bloody awesome. I'm so stoked with that. Swarm number, well, not swarm number 6, but that'll be now my 6th colony. Let's leave them to it. I've got a veggie patch to build. How exciting is that? That's so cool. I'm really excited about that. This is going so well. I've only had to rescue one swarm, and I've had now another 3 swarms move in of their own accord. I'm loving it. That's great. I'm just going to keep building more boxes and getting more swarms in. Although I will have to call a stop to it eventually, because I don't want that many hives. I'd like to have probably around about 10 to 12. Some Langstroth hives, some of the Kenyan top bar hives, and I might even look at building a couple of Warray hives as well, just so I've got like all 3 types, because for me it's just not about honey production, it's not about being on one sort of hive. I'd like to have all the different hives, see how they all work and that sort of thing, really study them. Anyway, so exciting. Isn't there a lot of bees? There's tens of thousands. Anyway, I've got work to do. As you can see, it can be a little challenging putting that up by yourself, but it's up. Only takes a minute or two, and at least now I can work in under here without a hat on, because that leather hat, while a hat's important, really does start to cook your brain. So let's get set up. Right, it's only been about 10 minutes since I showed you those bees, but I've noticed that where there was so many flying around, there's only a few flying around now, so they've really settled down, and I can actually see that huge clump that was hanging down is shrinking, which should be them all moving up in. So I thought I'll just bring the GoPro down and I'll see if we can get some really good footage, some nice close-up footage. We'll see how we go. If you look closely, you'll see certain ones that are really wiggling, and that's them giving out their little dance, their little message. So as you can see, they have settled down, and as I said, you can get fairly close. It's a little nerve-wracking. Every now and then they buzz my ears, and being at the moment I'm quite hot and sweaty, and apparently that can be a bit of a trigger for bees as well, so you do need to be careful with that. But I am really close to that, even though it probably doesn't look like it on the GoPro. But yeah, I'm pretty damn close. I could probably take one pace backwards and put my hand right into that. Anyway, let's leave them. Like I said, I got work to do. Time to stop mucking around. Now, just in case you missed it last time, the ground does slope quite a lot here. So what I've done for the first course, if you want to call it that, of panels, they're going to get cut at an angle so that I can get it nice and level. I want the dirt in here to be level so that the water tends to sit and then soak in. It doesn't run off as easily. So what I've done is I've run a string line, and then all I need to do is measure the height off the ground at this end, which is 20 centimeters. Now down at this end, the height is 35. So there's a 15 centimeter difference. So when I cut my board, I need to make sure that from one end to the other end I've got a 15 centimeter difference. So I'll have a straight edge, and then I'll have, well, it'll be straight, but it won't be parallel, it'll be down at an angle. Once I do that on all the sides, I should end up with a horizontal, a nice level horizontal line of those first boards. The rest I can then just cut the panels with parallel edges, put them all on. Bob's your uncle, as they say. Then it'll be a case of going and getting timber to throw into the bottom. We'll get red dirt in. I might throw a bit of hay in there as well, sawdust, bark that we've got around, and then finishing off with the last yay amount of the darker soil which I get from up the top there. That I'm hoping I can get all done today. It's 11:30, so we'll see how we go. It's a big call, but we've got a lot of daylight, and the clouds are coming in a little bit, which is actually cooling it off, which is nice. We'll see how we go. Now, because these slabs, I didn't cut off the edges. I just basically got the whole log and just sliced it up. So what I need firstly is a straight edge. So I'm just going to use the string line and work out where I can get the best straight edge from, and then we'll get that cut first. Alright, that's actually pretty good. I'm not going to lose too much timber off of that. The next thing I need to do is make sure that I can get a 15 centimeter fall when I cut it. I'm looking at about 22 at that end. Yeah, about 22 at that end as well. Yeah, so it's going to be it'll be quite skinny at one end, but that doesn't matter. It's going to be right at the bottom anyway, so I think that should be fine. So I'll get this cut, and then I'll mark the second line, and we'll get it all sorted. Now again, because it's blackwood, I know a lot of people are like, what a sin, you're using blackwood for a veggie patch. A bit like using oak or mahogany or something, I guess. It is a fairly sought after timber, but we've got so much of it, and I need veggie patches more urgently than anything else. So yeah, because it's blackwood, the dust can be carcinogenic, so I'll be wearing a dust mask. now we've got a straight edge. And all these offcuts, I'm just going to throw them straight over there, and they'll be part of what will end up being compost in the bottom of the veggie patch. So nothing goes to waste. Alright, now I just want to square this end off. There is our first panel, ready to go over onto the veggie patch. So I just noticed, I just noticed that swarm that was down on the tree has gone. We saw them flying away and they flew up here, and now they've all swarmed around this. Now we already had bees in there, so I don't know whether it was them coming out, coming back in, or quite what it was, but it looks like they're all hanging around here now. Either way, we've still got them. Well, that's as much as I'm going to be able to get done today. The battery just ran out on the saw and it's getting too late to try and recharge it, because I could recharge it off the generator if I wanted to, but yeah, like I said, it's just too late, I think. So I'm almost there. I've got one board that I was just cutting, which is going to go on the top on this side here, and then I'll just cut a thin strip for down on that back half, and then I've just got to do the ends. The ends should be fairly quick to get done. So tomorrow morning I'll be back up here, I'll get those put in with a fully charged saw blade, and then I can start to fill this up. In the afternoon we will then plant. So for now I'm just going to do a bit of watering, enjoy this beautiful afternoon, and I won't worry about showing you that. I showed you when we were watering yesterday. But I'll be back up here tomorrow morning to get this finished off, and then we'll start filling it. Well, I'm going to have to wrap this episode up here. So you'll have to tune in next week to see us finish off this second veggie patch. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Please share it around, it does help. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would like to see what we're doing. Most people seem to find it pretty interesting. So I'm glad that I can provide something that's entertaining and maybe even a little bit educational. So, I hope you have a great weekend and a great week next week. Stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you up here next weekend. Cheers!